You wake up, make coffee, check your phone. Normal morning, normal life. Except today, somewhere inside a building you have never seen, in a city you may have never visited, someone opened a file. And at the top of that file, there is your name. You don't know it yet. That's the thing about being hunted by the most powerful intelligence agency on Earth. You never know it until it's far too late to run. This is what that looks like. Level by level, step by step, from the first quiet whisper of surveillance all the way down to the moment there is nowhere left to go. Level 1. You are a name on a list. It doesn't start dramatically. It never does. At level 1, you are not a target. You are a data point, a name that appeared in the wrong email, a phone number that called the wrong person, a face that showed up in a photograph standing next to someone the CIA was already watching. You didn't do anything. Not necessarily. At this level, that doesn't matter. Analysts are not looking at you directly. They are running algorithms, automated systems that scan billions of data points every single day. Financial records, travel history, communication patterns, social connections. The system flagged something, a pattern it didn't like, a connection it found interesting. Your file is thin, a paragraph, maybe less, but it exists now. And in intelligence work, existing is everything. At level 1, your life feels completely normal because it is completely normal. You go to work, you call your family, you buy groceries with your credit card and drive the same roads you always drive. Nothing has changed for you. Everything has changed. You just can't see it. Level 2, they start watching. A human being now opens your file. An analyst, young probably, working a double monitor setup in a building with no windows, reads what the system flagged. They make a judgment. They decide you are worth a closer look. Nothing aggressive, not yet, just attention. At level 2, the surveillance is passive. They are not following you in the street. They are pulling records, phone metadata, not the calls themselves, but who you called, when, for how long, from where, financial records, emails caught in the broad net of collection programs, travel history. They are building a picture. The terrifying thing about level 2 is that it is almost entirely invisible. There are no black vans parked outside your house, no strangers watching from across the street. The intelligence is being gathered from servers, from databases, from the digital exhaust that every modern human being leaves behind without thinking. Your phone knows where you sleep. Your credit card knows what you eat. Your search history knows what you fear. The CIA doesn't even need to follow you. You have already told them everything. Level 3, eyes in the physical world. Now it gets real. At level 3, the analysis of your records has produced something the agency considers worth physical confirmation. They move from digital surveillance into the world you actually live in. This is where surveillance officers come in. These are trained professionals. Their entire skill is making themselves disappear in plain sight. They are the person reading a newspaper in the coffee shop you stop at every Tuesday. They are 2 cars back on the highway. They are the maintenance worker who spends slightly too long near your building. They are watching how you move, who you meet, how you react to your environment. Are you surveillance conscious? Do you change your routes? Do you look twice at strangers? Because if you do, if your behavior suggests you are already aware you are being watched, that information goes straight back into your file, and your threat level goes up. Most people fail this test without knowing they are taking it. At level 3, the picture is filling in. The agency now knows your patterns, your contacts, your routines. They know where you are vulnerable, where you are exposed. They are not ready to move, but they are ready. Level 4, technical penetration. Your devices are no longer yours. At level 4, the CIA has moved beyond passive collection. If your file has produced enough justification, they go active. Technical operations teams work to gain access to your phone, your laptop, your home network. This is not hacking in the Hollywood sense. It is precise, methodical, and almost always undetectable to anyone with serious counter-surveillance training. Tools like those leaked in the Vault 7 documents, released by WikiLeaks in 2017, showed the world exactly how sophisticated this capability had become. Phones turned into microphones, cameras activated without indicator lights, encrypted messages intercepted before encryption even applies. At level 4, your private life is not private anymore. The conversation you had with your partner last night, the phone call you took in your car because you thought you were alone, the document you typed and deleted without sending, all of it is potentially visible to people you will never meet. And you are still going to work, still making coffee, still completely unaware. Level 5. The net tightens. Something you did, or something they think you did, has pushed you past a threshold. At level 5, coordination begins between agencies. The CIA shares its file. The FBI may become involved on domestic matters. Foreign intelligence partners, the Five Eyes network that connects the intelligence agencies of the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, may be looped in depending on where you have traveled. Surveillance intensifies. More officers, more resources. Your communications are being monitored in near real time. But here is what makes level 5 psychologically distinct from everything before it. The people around you may be compromised. Not dramatically, not James Bond style, but at this level, the agency may approach people in your life. A colleague, an acquaintance, someone at the edge of your social circle who is vulnerable to pressure or incentive. They become, knowingly or not, a source of information. Your world is still the same world. The faces are still familiar, but you can no longer be certain what those faces report back. Trust becomes the first casualty. Before they ever touch you, they take that. Level 6, you know. At some point, through a mistake, through a tip, through your own instincts, you realize you are being watched. This is the most dangerous moment. Not because of what the CIA does next, but because of what you do. Most people panic. Panic looks different depending on the person. Some run. Some try to destroy evidence. Some make contact with people they should not contact. Some go quiet in ways that are themselves loud. All of it feeds the file. Intelligence agencies study behavior under pressure. They know how targets react when they become aware of surveillance. They use that awareness, sometimes deliberately. They let a target know or suspect they are being watched, then observe exactly how they respond. At level 6, every decision you make is a data point. Staying still, moving, talking, silence. All of it is being read. The smartest people in this position historically have done one thing. They contacted a lawyer immediately. They made their situation public. They created witnesses. Because the one thing that complicates intelligence operations more than anything else is daylight. Level 8. The walls close. Your freedom of movement is gone now. Not because you are in a cell, because they don't need to put you in a cell. Not yet. At level 7, the architecture of your life is being quietly dismantled. Bank accounts flagged. Travel documents under review. Professional relationships disturbed by quiet conversations you were not present for. The agency does not always need to arrest someone to destroy them. It can do it slowly, through systems, through pressure on the people and institutions around them. History has examples. Targets of CIA operations who were never formally charged with anything, never arrested, who simply found over months that their world had become very small, that doors had closed, that people had stopped returning calls. This is the full weight of a state-level intelligence apparatus focused on a single human being. Most people break at level 7, not physically, psychologically. The uncertainty, the isolation, the sense that the ground beneath every relationship has become unstable. That is not an accident. It is the design. Level 8, the end of running. There is no level 9. At level 8, the agency has made a decision. Whatever comes next is no longer about surveillance. It is about resolution. Resolution takes different forms depending on who you are, what you are alleged to have done, and what country you are in. For some, it is arrest. For some, it is extradition. For some, in the darkest chapters of intelligence history, it has been something else entirely. Outcomes that were never discussed openly in countries where the rules of accountability did not apply. The Cold War produced those outcomes. The War on Terror produced those outcomes. History is honest about this, even when governments are not. At level 8, the person who woke up that ordinary morning, made coffee, checked their phone, felt the full weight of a normal life. That person is now at the complete mercy of a system that was built specifically to find them, fix them, and finish them. And here is the thought that stays with you after all of this. Most people who passed through every one of these levels, most of them did not start out as spies or terrorists or threats to national security. Many of them were journalists, activists, whistleblowers, people who knew something and decided the public deserved to know it too. People who were in the wrong place at the wrong time, once briefly at a conference 10 years ago. The CIA is not a villain in this story. It is a tool, extraordinarily powerful, extraordinarily precise, built to protect a nation, and capable in the wrong hands or the wrong moment of being turned on the very people it was built to serve. That is what makes it terrifying. Not that it exists, but that it works. And somewhere right now, in a building with no public address, on a screen that only a handful of people will ever see, another file just opened, another name, another morning that feels completely normal for now.